Your ancient reserve of ambition. Once, way back in college, I borrowed my friend's motorcycle. On the way back from wherever I was going, I ran out of gas. So I walked back home. My friend asked where the bike was. I explained and he shook his head. We walked back to his bike and he reached down and flipped a switch. Reserve tank, dude! I got on the back and we rode back home. There was a Star Trek crossover movie, perhaps the first one. The Next Generation was interacting with the original Captain Kirk crew, and Scotty was having a conversation with Geordi about the engines. Scotty was the engineer from the original. Geordi was the engineer from the Next Generation. Scotty asked Geordi how fast the engines would go. Geordi said something like warp 8.7, to which Scotty replied, yes, but how fast do they really go? Geordi was puzzled and repeated warp 8.7. Scotty shook his head and said, never tell the captain how fast the ship can really go, meaning always keep something in reserve. Once I went to Vegas with some friends. Thinking ahead, I had $40 in my wallet. Way back then, that was enough to buy enough gas to get back home, just in case I gambled myself into short-term bankruptcy. Luckily, I didn't, but I also forgot that $40, which meant when I found it later, it was like free money. I used to have this job that paid every other week. For most months, you got paid twice a month. But sometimes you get paid 3 times in 1 month, like an extra paycheck. Since you would budget for 2 paychecks a month, that extra paycheck is like free money or unexpected money. It's always a good idea to keep something in reserve. Even on a pure biological level, they believe we always have some kind of energy in reserve, just in case we need a sudden burst of energy to not die or something. But there is one form of energy that is both biological and metaphysical, simple and ordinary, but mysterious at the same time. It's easy to understand why this is from our ancient hunter-gatherer lifestyle, a never-ending force of ambition. Today, this same energy is essentially wasted by most everybody. And today, this is when this same energy can power your ambition, but in many, many unexpected ways. This is one of those things where you have to experience this to really understand this. It's not one of those things where you can predict it ahead of time, which means most people will never tap this ancient source of energy. So when you do this, you'll have an advantage that nobody can truly understand. They'll only see the results of your behavior. To learn more, visit mindpersuasion.com/3x3.